Last time you dropped money into a donation box, someone was probably nearby. A cashier, a coworker, a stranger in line behind you, and you felt good doing it. Now here's the uncomfortable question. If the only goal was to help, why does it matter so much who was watching? The honest answer is hiding in a book called The Elephant in the Brain by Kevin Simler and Robin Hanson. Their claim is simple and a little unsettling. A lot of what we do for good reasons is quietly driven by a motive we'd rather not see, and charity might be the clearest case of all. Let me say the obvious part first, because it's true. You're kind. The warmth you feel when you give is real. None of this is an accusation. But Simler and Hanson noticed something strange. If you stop listening to what people say about giving and instead watch how they actually give, generosity stops behaving like pure helping. It behaves like something else, something with a pattern. They borrowed an old phrase for it, the elephant in the brain, a big, obvious motive sitting in the middle of our minds that we've all been quietly trained not to look at. So here's a small promise. By the end of this, you might just catch your own elephant, and the first clue is almost funny because it shows how little it takes to change us. There's a poster that can make people nearly 3 times more generous. It isn't a sad photo, it isn't a number. We'll get to what it is in a moment, and it's stranger than it sounds. Picture an office coffee station. There's no cashier, just a box and an honor system. Take a drink, leave your money. In 2006, 3 researchers at Newcastle University, Melissa Bateson, Daniel Nettle, and Gilbert Roberts, ran a quiet experiment on that box. Every week, they changed the little picture above the price list. Some weeks, a photo of flowers, other weeks, a photo of eyes, just eyes, looking out. On the weeks with eyes, people paid almost 3 times as much. Nobody stood there thinking, I'd better be honest, that poster is watching me. It happened underneath thinking. A picture of eyes, not a real person, not even real eyes, was enough to tilt how generous we were. So sit with that. If a printout of eyes can move us, how much of our giving is really about the person we're helping, and how much is about the feeling of being seen? But watching changes more than how much we give. Sometimes it changes whether we run. You've done this. A fundraiser is set up on the sidewalk ahead, clipboard ready, smiling, and suddenly you find a deep, urgent interest in your phone. You drift to the other side of the street. Researchers actually measured this. In a study by Stefano DellaVigna, John List, and Ulrike Malmendier, a door-to-door fundraising drive warned some homes in advance, with a flyer on the door. Just knowing the ask was coming, fewer people opened up, and when the flyer let them quietly check a Do Not Disturb box, donations dropped by about 1/3. Think about how odd that is. If giving were purely about helping, a heads up would be good news, a chance to prepare to give more. Instead, the warning handed people an exit, and a lot of them took it because the discomfort was never really about the cause. It was about being seen saying no. And here's the clue that stings, because you'll recognize yourself in it. Before you buy a $300 phone, what do? You compare models, you read reviews, you check 3 sites for a better price. You want every dollar to count. Now, when did you last do that before giving $300 to charity? Most of us never check which organization actually turns our money into the most good. And it matters more than you'd think. When researchers like Toby Ord compared health programs, they found the gap between the best and the worst wasn't small. The best can do 10 times more good per dollar than the average, and far more than the weakest. Picture that in human terms. With the very same money, one choice helps a single person and another choice helps 10. Same generosity. Wildly different results. If our real goal were to maximize how much we help, we'd shop for charity the way we shop for phones. We don't. Which raises a quiet, uncomfortable possibility. Maybe maximizing help was never quite the goal. So what is? Look at who moves us. Imagine 2 appeals, one can save 1,000 strangers described in statistics. The other shows you 1 child, a name, a face, 2 eyes looking back. Logically, 1,000 lives should win, easily. But that's not how we work. Psychologists Deborah Small, George Lewenstein, and Paul Slovic ran exactly this test. They gave people the chance to help Rokia, a single 7-year-old girl from Mali with a name and a photograph, or to help millions of others described with numbers and maps. People gave far more to Rokia. Stranger still, the same researchers found that our compassion can start to fade as the number of victims climbs. 1 face beats 1,000 statistics. Pure helping would chase the biggest number. We chase the most vivid face. And once you line these clues up, the pattern underneath them is hard to unsee. This isn't only kindness, it's also a signal, a way of showing the people around us something valuable about who we are. Now, here's the fair objection, the one you might be forming right now. If giving honestly feels good, isn't that just empathy? Why call it selfish? And that's the subtle part. The warm feeling isn't the proof that you're pure. The warm feeling is the reward. It's what the mind pays out for doing something that also conveniently advertises you to everyone around. Real kindness and quiet self-interest aren't enemies here. They're riding in the same body, pulling in the same direction. The most direct evidence is almost embarrassing. In a study by Wendy Iredale, Mark Van Vugt, and Robin Dunbar, men gave noticeably more to charity when a woman was watching. In the version where an attractive woman could see them, men handed over more than half of what they'd earned. Women's giving didn't swing the same way with an audience. Generosity, it turns out, climbs exactly when there's someone worth impressing. Across human history, giving has been a way to broadcast something useful. I'm kind, I have enough to share, I'm someone worth allying with or loving. Now bring that all the way into today. You give to a cause online, and right next to the donate button sits a share button. Ever notice how the giving feels a little more complete once you've posted it? The charity receives the exact same money whether you announce it or stay silent, but you receive something extra when you announce it. The signal goes public, and this is the part that matters, so I want to be careful with it. None of this means your giving is fake or that you should stop. The food bank doesn't ask why the money arrived. The hungry person still eats. A selfish motive can still produce something genuinely, deeply good. So seeing the elephant isn't a reason to give less, it's a tool to give better. Here's what you can actually do with it. The next time you're about to give, run one quiet test. Ask yourself, would I still give this much if no one ever knew? If the answer is yes, wonderful. If you hesitate, that's okay too. That hesitation isn't a flaw. It's just the elephant finally stepping into the light where you can look at it. Because once you can see it, you can aim it. You can give to what actually works, not only to what looks good in the moment. The same kindness pointed at far more impact. That's the whole idea behind the elephant in the brain. Hidden motives quietly steer more of us than we'd ever guess. And charity is only one room in that house. So the next time you feel that warm glow of giving, don't kill it. Just ask it one honest question. Who exactly is it for?